This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Arkham Horror role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called The Comets of Kingsport. It was written by Leah Hawthorne. Our game master is Tyler Hudak, and this is episode 3. Our recap will be given by Josh Ryan as his character, Mandy Thompson. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Josh?
From the hastily written notes of Mandy Thompson, research scientist. Had you told me the day before that a trip to Arkham, checking in on an old colleague, would shake the very foundations of science on which I've built my life, I'd call you a fool. And yet, after investigating a missing Dr. Cecil Blackburn, what we found changed all our lives forever. From the twisted words of his clone and his own mad words laid out in his journals, we've discovered a dire, otherworldly threat that will bloom in Arkham unless we can stop it. We have our weapons at the ready, mainly vinegar, bullets, and the spell work of our librarian. Now we go in search of Blackburn's hiding place to destroy the amulet and end this threat, and ensure that no more comets will fall.
So when we left it, you all had found two of the comets at a house and had dispatched them. And that's where we ended. So I will throw it over to everybody. What do you want to do next? Again, to kind of recap, you know where you think the tidal pool is, that the gateway that was mentioned in multiple sources is at. It is, we'll say it's probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon by now. You've done a lot. In both the morning and afternoon, going and getting things, and the battle and trailing them, and all of that. If you recall too, the portal is supposed to open at high tide, which is at 8 p.m. So a couple hours from now.
So, you know the cave that we saw them at?
Does that line up with the cave that has the big water chute?
I don't know. We haven't actually gone to see where the water comes out. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Because we might be able to enter from that direction. That might be sneakier. Should we stock up on more vinegar and make some water balloons too, or?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to buy out the grocery store.
Well, why were they at this house? Is there something? Maybe there's something that connects it.
Good point. Whose address was it? Whose home was it?
It looks like it was an abandoned home, from what you can tell.
Right, because I probably never deliver there normally.
Right. Yeah.
Let's check the whole place out and see if there's anything.
Clues.
You look through the whole house, don't really find anything. It definitely looks like they were, living there. There is evidence that there may have been others that have been there as well, but you don't find anything of importance within the house.
If we find evidence of them living there, do we find any evidence of them eating food or having to sleep?
You don't find any evidence of them eating food. You do find evidence of like beds that they were utilizing, or like a sleeping bag, or blankets
No.
and things like that.
They didn't have any repurposed bathtubs or anything?
Salt water.
No, no,
Oh,
not
surprising. Okay.
not here.
So is there a better a better delivery system than just our spray bottles? Although honestly, that did work pretty well.
That seems to work pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm looking at the slowly melting bodies, and yes, that was pretty effective.
Oh, I forgot. I got to take a sample.
It might be
It's going to disintegrate.
there might be those bigger garden sprayers, for spraying bug spray and stuff. The big brass ones at the hardware store.
Okay.
I think at this point, after your success, we should all, in fact, take some.
Yeah.
So I think maybe,
Yeah.
when we go shopping, we should each have one.
Okay. We're going to
And
smell
we've
like
gotta-
vinegar for weeks, but that's all right.
Yeah,
It washes off.
if you all want to get one of the sprayers plus a vinegar to fill it up, you can absolutely do that. It's only a quick jump to a couple stores to gather all of that or those pieces.
What I'm concerned about is the implication of where we're supposed to head, this idea of going through a gate. I'm worried that what if we all go through and don't come back? I am almost thinking maybe some of us should stay behind, or we should have a contingency plan. We don't
You
know
mean
what's on
like-
the other side.
Maybe write some notes to people we trust to follow up. Kind of like the
Well-
classic scenario setup. There's a
Well, and
journal.
maybe if we do our best to take care of all of the comets
Mhm.
on this side, then the gate becomes something a little more at leisure that we can investigate.
Well, we got Cecil locked up, so that's one out of the way. We don't know who SC is yet. We've
Wonder
taken
what's going to happen.
We've taken 2 of the 4 of the Mariner out. Lottie has 2 running around somewhere. And then there's SG, and JF, whoever they are. It's a finite number if we could just locate them.
And they can't make any more because
They can't make any more.
they don't have the amulet. So I think that we have to worry most about them trying to stop us. But they don't even know that we're here yet or doing anything. Unless they have some way of communicating with one
Well,
another.
they're going to eventually, unless we stalk the place out, they might come here and find that their buddies are gone. But I think we have lots of time. Why don't I think we need to explore that cave more. We're armed for bear, as it were. So why don't we see what they're trying to do there?
Yeah.
Are they just trying to wait, what is his name? Blackburn out? Are they just trying to wait Blackburn out thinking he's going to come back?
Or figure out how to get into the gate.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we don't know if Blackburn has all that time left. He could be injured. We don't know if he has any food, any drinking water.
Yeah, we don't know what he's doing over there. He might have died on the other side of the gate.
It sounded like he was going stark raving out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's the one who caused all this problem. Did you kind of understand that text to seem that the amulet is just one part of that god and there could be other parts?
There could be, but there's no clear evidence whether there is or not. We kind of just have to go off the assumption that there's the one.
Well, do you
Well,
think he
let's-
went? Do you think he went to the other place to get more parts? Like, why did he go there? What was he thinking he was trying to
I think he
accomplish?
was trying to get away from them,
Oh, okay.
but well, let's go to those caves and do some exploring and
Yeah,
spray
okay.
anybody that we come across.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so you're just gonna go to the caves. I mean, you said that you were going to get the vinegar and the
Yeah,
sprayers.
we'll get the sprayers.
Okay. So by the time you do all this and get to the caves, it is definitely after dusk, probably 6:30 or
Okay.
so. If I remember right, this is in the winter, so the sun's going to go down a little early. How are you doing this as you go through the caves? I should have said too. Your dice pools would have refreshed as well.
Let's move as quietly as we can. I say that as I carry a cane with me, but maybe if the quieter ones want to take the lead.
So we don't want to try to climb down the blowhole or whatever it was called. We're just going to go through the front door.
If we've got time, let's see if we can see where that is. Because I wondered if there's some sort of gate. Is the gate in the cave, or does the gate appear when the blowhole blows through the mist of the water?
Is it the same time, the blowhole and the gate opening? Are they the same?
Well, it says that it blooms, and I assume that the bloom is the water, and the water rushing into the cave at high tide is what causes it to bloom. I'm making a lot of assumptions there.
So for the GM, would that be something that I would already have kind of some intrinsic knowledge being on the coast?
About what specifically? You don't know of any like
that?
Yeah, you don't know of any landmark where like the almost like geyser type properties around Kingsport. And in fact, the caves that you enter, they're kind of part of the big cliff. So there's really, there's hundreds of feet of rock above you. So there's really no area there for it to do something like
okay.
that.
We got slightly sidetracked. Okay, fair enough. There's only one way in then, really. So
the thing is if we go in there, you might not be able to get in there during high tide. The cave would be full of water.
Right.
But if I recall correctly, that's when the gate opens at high
Or
tide.
do you have to get in there before high tide and then wait for high tide? We don't know. We don't know how this works. However, a new tide comes every 12 hours, so we can figure it out this time and then maybe have to wait until tomorrow.
Okay. Do you think we can bring a boat into the cave if we have to deal with water, or we just have to go on foot?
You may be able to bring from going in there. You may be able to bring like a canoe or maybe like a really small rowboat, but that's about it. The cave kind of varies in width, and there are some times where it does get a little bit narrow, like maybe 2 to 3 feet across. So you could do it. You would be maneuvering a little bit, and you would be making a lot of noise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not worth it.
That's probably more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you're going to the cave.
Yep.
You get there, like I said, around say 6:30 or so, and start going through. If anybody would like, give me a wits roll.
A which roll?
Wits.
Oh, wit. I gotcha.
Remember, you're pulling these from your pool. We're in a narrative scene as opposed to a structured scene.
Yeah, so I had a 5. I got a 6.
Cool. Perfect.
One success for me too.
Awesome.
No,
So for those who passed, you're going through the cave, and so remind me who went through it before. It was Amanda and Silas.
And Silas.
Okay.
So I probably would have led going in first.
Okay. Silas, especially you and Harvey, you see this. Sorry, Daisy, did you succeed as well?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. The two of you notice that There's a lot more footprints in the sand within the cave than Silas, especially what you remember before, and your own footprints would not account for this. It looks like there's been a lot of movement since you were here last, and the majority of the movement seems to be coming out of the cave.
Ooh.
But as you go through, you kind of get to the point where you had gotten to before, where there's that long hallway. Remember, there's like bioluminescence around the walls from this coral that seems to be thriving on the cave walls and ceilings. And you kind of get to the end there, where at the far end is where you see the most ambient light. This is about as far as you got before. You don't see any evidence of any comets standing there like you did before, and you can all kind of hear, kind of echoing through the cave, the splashing of water up ahead. You definitely smell it too. You smell the seawater.
We appear to have come to an empty home.
I would say keep pressing forward till we can kind of make some more assessments about what was up there.
Well, then didn't it also kind of imply that the comets can't pass?
Can't pass the portal.
Can't pass the portal, which maybe they're afraid of it or something. I don't know.
There might be a pool in there that they can swim through, though. I mean, they might be aquatic.
Maybe the pool is the portal.
Oh,
Well, they're definitely aquatic. Remember, in the journal, it said that he could swim in the water and didn't even have to breathe.
Right.
We found him in a tub of water.
Yeah.
Well, keep your eyes open as we press forward.
Yep.
Right, so you press down. Is anybody trying to be sneaky or quiet, or I mean, I assume that you're all trying to be quiet, but is anybody trying to be, extra quiet or, anything like that?
Like Ninja Scouts?
I think we're whispering.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fair. So you can continue down further than you had gone before. And Silas, since you're leading, you're the first one to see this. You get down to the edge, and there's a lot of ambient light. You can all hear and smell the salt water now. And you kind of turn a corner, and you find an archway leading into another cavern that is wreathed in glowing coral. Glowing clusters of eggs are bunched together on the dry parts of the space, and you see fast, sleek shapes moving around in the water. A glowing pool swirls at the opposite end of the cave to you, and you are sure that you must be at the portal you read about in Blackburn's Ravings. The shapes that are moving through the water, it's really hard to tell, but Silas, you kind of recognize them as maybe eels, but these are the biggest eels that you have ever seen in your life.
Holy crap. And then I see eggs on the wall.
Yeah, there's like clusters of eggs on some of the dry parts of the land. Like, so it's not, this whole place isn't, at least in the front part, if you can imagine that the cavern opens up, there's almost like a beach, a small beach, and there are basically like sandbars throughout the area until you get to the far end where you see this glowing pool. Where you see the sandbars, you see these clusters of eggs, but even just standing here for a minute or two, you can see the water is starting to rise as high tide comes in.
It's just like a nursery, but we don't see any other way out, right?
No, on the far side, there is that pool of water. It looks like maybe that goes out to the sea, but there's no other tunnels leading out. There's no holes in the ceiling or anything like that. The area is very well lit though, because of this coral is just providing all of this light for you.
So if we don't retreat, we might be stuck in here, and I don't really want to drown. So I don't know if there's feel.
Yeah, okay. Retreat might be the option then, because
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling's a good 10, 15 feet in some places. The tunnel that you entered into, the entrance is it's definitely high enough that Actually, go ahead. If somebody or multiple of you want to give me a knowledge roll. Silas, if you do this, you can do it with advantage, which, if you remember, you get an extra die and you just remove the lowest die.
Okay.
We'll do a knowledge roll as well.
Oh, I hit it. I got 6s on both.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
All right. So those who made it, you, especially you, Silas, you're looking at the walls. You can see where it comes up. You can see where the water line is, and you guess that at its highest, maybe knee height for you all.
Oh,
So the whole cave is not going to completely be engulfed.
Right.
Or submerged. Yeah, thank you.
We can wade and swim. However, all those eels will be able to gain access
and-
to us.
and they might bite us and stings. Is there some kind of high ground we could sort of clamber up to? So we don't
You could
get-
climb along the walls for sure. There's not like a path or the equivalent of like a natural catwalk or anything like that, but you could definitely climb along the walls. You could walk through along the sandbars that are in there, but again, they're kind of disappearing as the tide comes in.
Well, that's, I think, our first priority is see if there's a place where we can get to in the cave that won't submerge us in water. Well, or partly submerge us in water.
Yeah, because we don't want to get
Like
attacked
a-
by the eels.
Stalactite or something that we can grab a hold of, and the water should reach high tide, and then I don't know how long it stays there, but I imagine it starts to go back down again right afterwards. Hours.
Yeah. Once the portal opens, what are we supposed to do?
We're looking
Yeah.
for Blackburn and the amulet.
Okay.
If it's a visible door, maybe we do go through,
Maybe.
but it'll come back in 12 hours.
I'll take up some pictures of the ceiling and the coral and those egg sacs.
What kind of
You-
eggs are those?
So Mandy, as you're taking pictures, you kind of maneuver yourself a little bit to get close to the eggs, just to get a good shot of it. And you kind of notice that the eels start to get a little, not aggressive, but start to kind of swim towards you and then turn away, almost like they're being protective of the eggs. The eels themselves, too, that you can see, again, you have not seen them very well because they're still kind of hidden and they're moving pretty quickly, but you would estimate that they're probably about 5 feet long.
Yeah, we don't want to tangle with those.
Those
Are,
aren't any kind of eels I've ever seen.
the eggs themselves, are they on dry land above the?
Yeah, you do see some that are under the water, so some of them are kind of halfway in between as well.
So they could have laid the higher up ones while the water was high, and then
Exactly.
the water's gone down,
Exactly.
like frogs.
Yeah. So what do you all want to do?
I have to admit, I'm a little hesitant to jump in the water, as although it seems like that's the most obvious place to go.
Well,
Otherwise,
why
we return in 12 hours.
can we find high ground to watch from just to see if the gate
What?
does open?
It's going to be the same in 12 hours. Is right.
Yeah.
But can we, like, is there a ledge or a
Yeah, is there somewhere we
shelf-
can
a
observe?
shelf of rock where we can sit on, or?
There's enough rocks that you think that you can keep yourselves out of the water.
Yeah.
Some of them, I mean, you're going to be holding on.
Okay.
It's not like there's
They're not
an easy
comfortable
place.
perches.
Yeah, they're not going to be comfortable perches. You think you can do this? You'll in fact, you all definitely will have to make athletic rolls to see how well you're holding on. But there are places around the cave for you to do this.
Okay, well, why don't we get Professor Walters up first because he's the one in most danger of possibly not doing so well.
Right.
Maybe secure him with a rope or something so he doesn't fall off. And then the rest of us can find somewhere to climb to.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but we have to be worried about hypothermia as well.
Oh,
It is, so it is chilly, outside. It is winter, but as you say that, it is surprisingly warm in here. You would estimate that or guess that it's probably about 70 degrees in here, much warmer than it should be. The water itself, too, is fairly warm. It's not like boiling or anything like that, but it's a lot warmer than it should be, especially in the cold Atlantic waters.
Maybe there's a thermal vent or something that's warming up the water. Yeah, because if the eels are laying eggs, this time of year is an odd time of year too for breeding.
Well, tie me off and keep an eye on me because I don't know how long I can maintain hanging onto the side of a wall.
That's
But
why
I'll
we're
do
going
my
to
best.
tie you up so you don't plummet.
So if you, sorry, go on.
We're going to secure the professor so he doesn't plummet to his doom, and then the rest of
We
us
all-
will find perches.
We all can swim, can't we?
Yeah, I think so. What is that? It's just an
I
athletics
hope
check.
you
That'd be
don't
an
have
athletics
to.
check.
I can.
It's the swimming isn't the part I'm worried about. It's those things, those 5-foot long eels.
Yep.
Well, if they're just animals, then they'll probably be afraid of us.
Don't hope that's the case. Never,
That's optimistic.
yes,
Unless
that's
they're
optimistic,
electric
Amanda.
eels, in which case I don't think there's
Or they're
electric
poisonous,
eels.
or they just bite a chunk out of you. We just don't want to fight them, and the vinegar's not going to do shit to them. Although they might be tasty to cook.
You said you're tying up the professor. How are you doing this? Are you actually like tying him, or just like using the rope to give him a better hold?
Roll to get better hold. We're not like tying
okay.
him up. We're just kind of giving him something to cling
Right.
to make it
Okay,
easier.
gotcha. Okay.
Tie it around my waist, and one of you strong lads like Silas hang on to the rope at the other end.
All right. So everybody go ahead and give me a athletics roll. Harvey, you can do yours at an advantage. Again, with all these rolls, you don't have to. In fact, if you recall, we had a conversation last time where some of the rolls sounded like they were mandatory and you're taking from your pool. I found out that the official ruling is for any roll, you can choose not to roll if you don't want to spend your dice, but it is an automatic failure.
Yeah.
I got I needed a 5. I got a 6.
I passed.
I made
as well.
mine, but I used 2 dice to do it.
That's fine.
And remind me, the advantage is that I can roll again, or
The advantage is you roll an extra dice and then you remove the lowest dice. The extra die does not come from your pool.
highest was a 4, which is a failure for me.
All right.
Oh,
Is Harvey the only one who failed?
No, I'll use my neck, driven by horror scene. So I'll gain 1 horror die, but I'm gonna add three die to the roll.
Okay.
So I don't want to fall into the water. Yeah, 1/6.
Awesome. And
okay. I do have the helpful knack, which once per scene, I can select one ally and perform a simple action, which will then give them advantage on their complex reactions.
sure.
So I'm going to make sure that Harvey's knots are all like secure before I secure myself.
okay.
Just to give you, I guess, I think you get an extra die.
Yep. So go ahead, Harvey, roll another die.
I'm also right next to the professor just to.
Finally rolled a 6.
You're
Awesome.
snug.
Yay.
Okay.
So it sounds like everybody made it, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you all kind of you're. I would say that you're all kind of hanging on the walls, relatively close to each other, but still kind of spread out, more towards the back of the walls where it's more, or back of the room where it's more rocky.
Mhm.
Harvey and Daisy, you both, as you're on these walls, you do like your feet slip where the rock gives out from under you as you, but you're able to catch yourself. When one of these, let's say Harvey, As this does it for you, some of the rocks tumble down, kind of tumble along the wall, hit one of the sandbars with the eggs,
Ooh.
and one of the eels propels itself out of the water. Not jumps out of the water, but almost levitates out of the water. As it does, you all can hear this like gas being expelled from somewhere on this thing's body. The eel itself looks like an eel, but isn't. It's got too many mouths for an eel. It has too many teeth that vary in size, and the mouths are all over this thing, this eel. The skin looks very slick like that of an eel, but there are protruding veins that bulge out at weird places. It also seems to have what you would describe as various wings around it. But this thing jumps out of the air, almost like makes this hiss at, the rock, and then dives back in and swims around.
God in heaven, did you see that thing?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it.
What was it? I mean, there are some very strange things in the ocean, but
Yeah.
That's not normal.
That doesn't make me happy hearing that from you, Silas.
I can imagine why the comets can't reach the portal if it just opens when the water hits it.
Well, the portal itself, as far as you can tell, is not open. The best that you can describe it is that the pool area on the far end is kind of, it's almost glowing, but it's very calm. It doesn't look like, in fact, you see an eel or two just kind of swim through it and nothing happens. It is, say, 7:30 at this point. Not quite high tide yet.
I think we try not to move very much, especially anything that we've got dangling in the water.
Okay. So I assume based on what you said, you're just gonna stay there till high tide and see what happens. All right.
Yeah.
So the next half hour passes. The eels are swimming along. As 8 o'clock comes, and this whole time the water has been rising, it kind of reaches that watermark point on the side of the cave. A couple of things happen. First, you all start to hear voices coming down the cave, the entrance that you had come down. It's hard to tell how many voices, but you can definitely hear multiple voices coming down. And in fact, with the ambient glow of the coral out in that tunnel, you can start to see multiple shadows making their way towards you. Then the pool, almost like as the water hits the apex of high tide, as you stare into the calm pool, the water crashes outside, finally reaching its height. Water rushes along cracks and grooves in the rock, sloshing around your feet and pouring into the pool before you. As the boiling froth of bubbles fills the previously passive waters, you see the pool flicker somehow. You look into the depths, and to your shock, you realize you're no longer looking at the pool's rocky bottom. Instead, you see rocky shores outlining a vast yellow-gray void, as if you're at the bottom of the pool looking up. As this happens, you see somebody appear at the mouth of the entrance. It is the Cecil Blackburn, but you immediately recognize, based on the eyes, that is the Comet of Cecil Blackburn. And he yells out in panic and alarm as he sees you, pulling a gun and yelling back for whoever's with him to come running.
Kill it.
So how far away is the pool now with the
You were all pretty close. You could probably jump into it from where you all are at.
That's what I'm thinking we should probably do. I'll take a simple action to cut Harvey free so he can propel himself in if he wants to make a dive, because I don't want him to be stuck, and then I'm just gonna nosedive in.
And I'm going to protect Professor Walters as he goes by spraying in the direction of the tunnel behind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Just I'm gonna take a leap into the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, Professor Walters practically falls into the pool.
All right. So Mandy and Silas, what are you doing then?
Following with everybody else.
Okay.
Jumping down, whipping up my
All right,
pistol.
so you all kind of jump in. Amanda, you start spraying that. They're a little bit too far to get hit with the vinegar, but you almost create like this mist spray. And in fact, you know how when you spray something, you may get like a little bit of that mist. You think that maybe some of that has hit Cecil because you can see him like grimace in pain and start moving back down the retreating a little bit. But each of you jump into the pool. As you jump in, the water is extremely warm. It is you can see, like I described before, how you see this almost like rocky shore coming on the other side, and as you jump in there and start to swim down, the waters around you start to roil and you get thrown around. But the next thing you know is you erupt from the tidal pool, coughing and sputtering. As soon as you look up at the gray void of the sky, you know you are no longer on Earth, but have been transported to another world. After a moment, you catch your breath and take in the bizarre scene before you. Massive structures, seemingly natural, spiral up in rocky cones across the landscape. The largest must be nearly 20 feet tall, and the smallest around 5 feet. Skittering wet things crawl upon the surface of these stalagmite-like protrusions. The holes of geysers dot the ground, occasionally erupting in massive chutes of boiling water and misting the area in a fine, sticky sheen. Clusters of bioluminescent coral of all different colors and shapes cast unsettling shadows across the ground. Up ahead, you see a distant figure you think might be a person walking behind one of the stalagmite cones. You all kind of wake up or come back to consciousness or realize where you are with this scene. The structures and you're almost like on a rocky beach, essentially. The water, though, is essentially boiling. You can see and you can feel the heat as well with the in some areas the water just looks like it's boiling, it's roiling. It's not just a trick of it hitting the rocks. You can literally feel the heat from this. It's much hotter than it was previously.
And we're still in a cave, just a different kind of
No, you have emerged basically on this beach. Essentially this rocky beach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we tell what hole we came out of when we kind of boiled out? Like, can we see the spot?
Yeah, you can see the spot. Looking down into it, you can kind of see looking into the cave that you came from. This water on this side for that pool or gate or whatever you want to call it is not boiling. So in theory, you could go back through it. If you so chose. And
it's distinctive enough on the beach we could find it again fairly easily.
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay.
I look up at the sky and try to gauge if the constellations seem familiar. Where's the moon?
It's a yellow-gray, cloudy sky. Definitely not something that you recognize. You do, however, see two suns in the sky. One, a yellow sun, like you're familiar with. One, a deep red.
We are truly in uncharted territory, my friends.
I'm purposefully going to take a piece of cloth from my clothing and tie it around a rock near that pool so that we know for sure that's the way.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to yell out, Professor Blackburn, are you here?
Your voice kind of echoes across the landscape, and where you saw that figure walk behind one of those cone things, you don't see any movement or hear any response.
Well, he's not here. Let's go. I mean,
Be on
yeah,
alert.
I'm mind blown. I imagine for a few minutes we just sort of wander around looking at what the hell.
Yeah, it is definitely an alien landscape. You do see some of those like clusters of eggs in and around. You do see swimming through the water somehow those what you suspect are those eels as well.
Is there an ocean? Is there
Yes. So
mountains?
imagine you're kind of on
The shore?
a rocky shore. To one side of you is this, ocean that just extends out as far as you can see, boiling and so on. You don't see any ships or anything like that in the distance. On the other side, this landscape of this rocky shore with the stalagmite, type rocks or whatever they are, just continues in all other directions.
I think following in Amanda's lead, I'll yell out, "You hiding behind the rocks! We mean you no harm, but we're looking for Professor Blackburn. If you could help us."
You get no response. It was pretty far away. It was,
Is there plant life?
There's some like moss,
Weird looking stuff.
Yeah, weird looking moss. There is that coral that's kind of all over the place. The bioluminescent. It's the same coral that you saw in the cave. You do see, various plant life and even like small animals and that, small fish and so on.
We can wander forever, folks, but that random person we saw
Yep.
is the only point
We
of
saw-
contact. We should
Okay, let's
Let's just
track
go
them
there.
down.
let's track him down.
Right. You continue down. Let me see here. How many of there are you? 6.
Yep.
Mandy, give me a agility or athletics roll.
Okay.
Did our
is
pool
this
refresh?
the same scene? Yeah.
Yes, your pool would have refreshed. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yep.
That's good news.
If we spend the horror dice, do they still refresh as horror dice?
Yes. Yeah, they will still refresh as horror dice.
Spending 2. I got a 6.
Awesome. So as you all are walking, you're kind of heading towards that area in which you saw the figure. Mandy, you for a second aren't really paying attention, and you walk a little bit, close to one of these holes in the ground, in the rock, and at the very last second, you kind of realize where you're at and move out of the way. And this blast of boiling water shoots up almost exactly where you are at, as a geyser from these rocks just erupts in front of you. You know that if you had stayed where you're at or had not caught yourself, you definitely would have gotten hurt from this, scalding water flying through the air. But you all get close you're starting to get close to where you saw that figure. Because I want to ask, are you all doing anything special? Are you, being quiet? Are you calling out as you go?
Out of awe, I am probably quiet. But I'm also looking at everything.
Mhm.
The plants, the water, the fish, the rocks, the sky. I've never been to another planet before.
You have not.
Looking around in disbelief.
Mhm.
And some of you, like Mandy and Daisy, I think, and Harvey for sure. Maybe some of you others have you've experienced the mythos before. You've experienced, the occult, and you've probably read some books which describe other worlds out there that, can be reached through magical means or in some method. While you've never read about, what you're seeing here, you can, pretty much intelligently surmise that that's what happened here is you did travel to another world somehow. You have also read, for those that have, of people who have gone and never returned. So that kind of nags at the back of your mind as well. But you get close to where you saw that figure go behind the stalagmite cone, and as you all kind of get there and start to go around it, 3 of the knot eels kind of spring up from behind a cluster of eggs as you round the corner, and you tense up for a fight. But before you can draw your weapons or cast spells, a massive spear made of bone and chitin hurls through the air and pierces through 2 of the knot eels, their limp bodies flailing with the impact. The 3rd knot eel hisses out of several of its mouths, the sound echoing in your mind. Standing several yards away from you, watching you, is a figure. The best way to describe this figure is they look almost like a humanoid lobster, standing almost 7 feet tall, looking very muscular with a kind of mighty tail. And it's clear to you that this creature, this thing, this person, whatever you want to call it, saved you. But now it simply stands there staring with black orbs of its eyes at all of you.
Oh.
I'll raise my hands in a peace offering and try to speak to it, although I doubt it understands me, but in soothing tones of, we're just looking for a friend, a Blackburn. Please, we mean you no harm.
Give me a presence roll.
One success.
All right. As Harvey is doing this, what would the rest of you like to do?
I'm with Professor Walters, just keeping a little bit ahead of him because I don't want him to get hurt. But yeah, I kind of want to see if the lobster can understand us. It's obviously intelligent. It made a spear.
Okay.
Hope it doesn't know that we've eaten so much lobster.
What about the rest of you? Does anybody else want to do anything special or just see what happens?
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah, just see what happens. Nothing aggressive. Just
I'm
kind of see what's
gonna
going.
keep my gun out in case an eel,
Okay.
eel comes for us.
Okay. Harvey, you are, kind of waving your hands, trying to communicate. The thing is just staring at you, and you're kind of miming or pantomiming, different words and that for maybe a minute. And you think that maybe, something you did or said resonated with it somehow, because it takes a step forward, and in this almost like guttural voice, in very, very broken English, it responds to you that it basically asks, where did you come from? When it comes, I'm not gonna. Well, I guess I will. It just looks at you and goes, "Where come from?"
I almost wasn't even expecting it. I kind of look at Amanda and look back at it, and there, the ocean. Yeah.
We point back at the rocky area.
If it had eyelids, it would be narrowing them in a little bit of suspicion at you all, and it says, "Another has come.
Yes.
Can you be trusted?"
Certainly. But
Yes.
bring us to him. We're here to collect him.
Collect,
We're
or
here to make sure
Help
he's
him.
okay.
We want to
Well,
help
don't
him.
forget, he's also crazy. He might be doing bad things over here.
mind what you say to the lobster man.
I just he might not like the guy we're talking about. That's all I'm trying to indicate.
You actually get that impression, when he says that, it almost, he kind of says the last thing in almost a,
Like he wants to spit type of thing.
yeah, exactly. You get that there's no love between
We want to say we're here to deal with it.
We are from where he is from, but he shouldn't be here.
Yes, that is true. A great evil he has brought with him. Are you bringing great evil as well? And he kind of he's holding another spear and he kind of tightens it.
Nope.
He says, "No, he's caused a great deal of evil where we are as well, and we want to confront him about it."
Professor Walters puts his hands on his chest and he says, "Harvey," and then he puts one hand on Amanda and says, "Amanda." And then he kind of puts his hand out towards the lobster man to see if he can reciprocate.
He responds with what you can best describe as a number of clicking noises that you probably could not replicate if you tried. Yeah, pretty much. But he definitely got what you were doing.
The sooner you bring us to him, the sooner we all go away.
That he says, "I will bring you, but that is not enough. The evil that has been brought here must be taken care of, or else and he puts his hand on his chest, the Neph will be in grave danger.
We'll do our best to help you."
He turns and starts walking down the rocky shore.
I'll turn to Amanda and whisper, "The Neph, they're real."
Yeah, Neff said.
So are you following him?
Yeah, and I'm like to the professor. I thought the Neph were people like us.
They don't look like us, but they certainly seem to have some sort of civilization, some sort of organized thinking.
Maybe they changed. Maybe they evolved differently than we did. I don't know. They seem, reasonable. He didn't just kill us. She, I don't know.
Maybe it's this place. Maybe this place changes people.
Yeah, is anybody going to talk to him as you go, or just follow him and talk amongst yourselves?
Professor, ask him what the evil bastard's been doing, so we have some sense of what's been going on.
Tell us, what has Blackburn been doing while he's been here? What trouble has he caused?
He has the one you call Blackburn. He has not been doing anything. We have kept him. It looks like he's almost searching for a word. Confined, but at a distance. We cannot do anything to him or for him. The evil that he has brought prevents us, but also weakens our protections. It is only a matter of time before it is too late.
You're talking about the amulet that he brought.
Yes, the amulet of Asterius.
Yes. It's our intention to destroy it.
That would be best. And he kind of stops and looks at you as he says this. And you kind of get the impression that it's not going to be as easy potentially as that, but then he continues on. You walk for Yeah, it's hard to tell time here, honestly. You could have been walking for 5 minutes. You could have been walking for 5 hours. Time seems to flow differently here, but you seem to be approaching what looks like a peninsula. And as you approach the peninsula, two massive Neff guards stand wielding chitin bone spears at the only access point. The Neff that led you here makes a series of chittering noises and articulates its eyes and claws. The guards lower their spears and seem to relax. Looking beyond the peninsula, you can see where it basically rises up into a cliff. It looks almost like a miniature version of the Kingsport cliff in its shape, although definitely not as high. And it kind of goes out over the boiling waters and then stops. And about 20 feet beyond that is another cliff, rock structure rising up from the ocean, the waters. There is what looks like a stone bridge that can be moved out of place and in place to prevent somebody from leaving, that kind of stone, cliff out there. And you can see sitting out there, his back to you, a human, which many of you recognize as, even from this distance, as Blackburn. But the Neff guards have basically lowered their spears, relaxed and stepped away, and are basically letting you move forward if you wish.
So they've got him isolated there out on that spot.
Yes.
Do any of us know Blackburn well enough to just have a conversation with him?
We've never met him.
Oh.
I think Samuel would have. I think some of you have corresponded with him. I think Mandy might have, maybe Daisy as well.
Yeah, I'll start walking forward and quietly say, Cecil?
Are you going up to like the edge of to where, as close as you can, I should say.
Yeah.
Not the bridge is moved to the side, so you cannot get over there. Although looking at the mechanisms, it wouldn't take like feats of strength in order to move it. It's kind of there's like a wheel that would turn that would swing it back over, essentially.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
Just to talk, not shifting the bridge or anything. Just get close enough to see if calling his name will get his attention.
It does. He sits up and looks back over, probably a little surprised to hear his own name, and sees all of you, and just sits back down and looks back out onto the ocean. You can, however, clearly see that he's wearing an amulet.
How do you talk to a crazy man? Get him to do what you want, no less.
You get close enough to him and rip the amulet off and run.
Yeah, but maybe that amulet made him act like that. You should be careful. Cecil, what are you doing?
He kind of tilts his head a little bit as he turns around, and you can see him clutch at the amulet as he speaks, and you can hear him over the waves and the water. You all are probably about, let's say, about the way that the cliff went up. You were, say, a couple feet above at the base, a couple feet above the ocean. You're probably about 50 feet above the ocean at the top. But he kind of clutches at the amulet on his chest, and with a hoarse and strained voice, he says, "Don't bother telling me what I've done wrong. I know it. My soul is damned no matter what I do. I'm just going to live out my days here."
I look to the professor and go like, that doesn't sound as crazy as I thought it would be.
Young man, you might feel as if your life is over, but we could help you. We could bring you back. We just need the amulet.
The amulet? You do not want this amulet. It has caused nothing but pain and evil. I was tricked by it. I was given visions, and he kind of grabs his head as he says this. The horrible things that I've seen, the horrible things that I've done, I don't deserve to go back.
But you left a mess. We've got comets that are causing problems because of your experiments. We need the amulet not to use it, but to destroy it, to break the magic so that those things can't take over the world. You've left a mess in both places.
Destroy it? I don't even know if it's possible to destroy it. It's the evil that's within this. It's beyond any of us.
This world that you're in now, it's not supposed to be here. You're putting this whole world in jeopardy too.
And Cecil, you've been alone during all of this. You've got 6 others here willing to help you. We can find out a way. You just have to be reasonable for a moment.
And you had not realized, because you're all kind of focused on Blackburn, from behind you, you hear the Neph that led you here kind of belt out that amulet, the evil. It weakens the protections. It is only a matter of time before Asterius can enter. You must destroy it. And Blackburn gets this look of almost like shock and horror over his face. And seems to fall even deeper into, self-pity or loathing or whatever he's going through.
So I'll look at the Neph and go, how? Do you know? How do we destroy it?
It basically says it doesn't know that
But we have to get it out of your world.
Yes, the amulet there are stories that it may be destroyed by being thrown into this sea, but only by the one who wields it. It must be given freely for Asterius controls who wears it, and they must break free of that.
Well, that sounds like Cecil has to do it.
Did you hear him, Professor Blackburn? That's all you got to do. Just take it off.
So whoever's saying this, I know you said that, Daisy, but a lot of you are talking to him. Actually, Daisy, go ahead and give me a presence or intuition roll. Anybody can spend a die to aid Daisy and give her a advantage. Yeah, multiple people can do this. So
okay,
sounds like you're getting at least 2 advantages, Daisy. So
okay,
we've all seen Lord of the Rings. We know how this works.
At least we read it. No, we didn't.
It's not out yet.
Wait, what year is it?
I'm spending 2 of my
30s. It's the 20s. Was it 30s? Maybe the Hobbit's out, but not Lord of the Rings.
Never mind.
I feel like no, it is the 20s. I'm sorry.
Nothing. We got nothing.
Yeah,
we've all seen Wagner's Ring Cycle.
There you go. You turn into a dragon. That's
2 advantage die and 2 of mine.
Yes.
Or
however many you want to spend.
Plus 1 6.
Awesome. So
1 success.
You say this to Blackburn, and you see this glimmer in his eye that maybe you're right, and he takes a step towards the edge of the cliff and looks down and is holding the amulet, and you think he's about to maybe take it off and cast it into the ocean, but then he takes a step back and says, no, that won't work, that won't do it, it's too powerful. As he says this, you all hear from behind you noise, voices shouting, the guttural clicking of the 2 Neph guards that are down there. And turning around, you can see coming up the beach are six figures. You're fairly close. They are four people that you don't recognize. At least or Samuel, you recognize one as Lottie Dvorkin,
All right.
and
Yep.
you all recognize the one in the lead as Blackburn, his comet. The Neff, who was standing next to you, looks at you and says, "It is too late. The protections have failed," and he starts to run back down. So we're going to go into a structured scene now, so everybody's pools refresh, but we're going to go through, each, just like before. Who would like to go first?
I'm stepping between the professor and them, and I'm just going to once again lay out a mist of acid
All right,
spray.
before you do, they're at the bottom of the cliff. They're going to take about a turn to get up to where you're at.
Okay.
So if you spray, it's probably not
It's going to be wasted.
It's
right.
going to be wasted.
I'll wait
It
until
is a
they're
little
close.
bit windy here.
But I also tell Clickety Click to stay away because this might hurt them.
We don't know
okay.
what it does to him.
It's not butter, so it should be okay.
Oh, that's awful.
Lemon juice, that would have worked.
Oh, that's terrible. Sorry.
I turn to Silas and I say, there's no time left. Someone's got to get on that bridge and get over to this man and force him one way or another. We'll try to hold these comets back while you try to do that. And I start unscrewing my cane to reveal the little pistol underneath it.
You'll have to persuade him because
He's got to do it willingly.
he's got to do it willingly.
How far is the gap? We need the bridge. There's no way we could jump it, obviously.
It's about 15 feet. There's no way that you can jump it, but you think it would not take you very long. Once somebody started spinning the wheel and all that, it would cost you a die to get it, moved into place.
Okay. Well, I guess Silas and I are the two that are the locals. Silas, get the bridge in position. Let's go across and talk to him. See if we can help him.
You do that.
Can I yell to the lobster guys? Those are the enemies. We need to kill them.
Okay, you yell that, and the Neff that was standing, with you starts to run down. It starts letting out. You kind of suspect that he may be the leader, and they all start to go down to meet the six figures that are coming up. Silas, you're kind of turning the wheel to get the bridge around. Go ahead and spend one die for that. What is everybody? So that's Amanda, you've done that. Harvey, you're pulling out your gun. Are you going anywhere, or are you just going to stand there and kind of hold your ground? Or
I'll try to find a good vantage point, see them, and then raise the gun up. And once they're within firing distance, I'll shoot at one.
Okay, there's even a couple of those like conical, structures there that you can kind of use as cover as well. So you just basically essentially like hold your action until okay, cool. So let's see, that takes us to Mandy. What are you doing?
I think I'll follow the professor's example and wait to attack.
Remind me, do you have a gun or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So you do that. Let's see, Daisy, what are you doing?
Well, I'm taking my book out from my back and taking cover as well.
There's going to be some scary blasty spells.
All right. Daisy's getting ready. Silas, you spin the wheel for the bridge. It swings into place, and Blackburn, immediately kind of takes a step back and says, "No, do not come over. This is pointless." Would anybody else like to do anything before?
Well, I'm gonna cross the bridge.
Okay, that'll cost a die to cross the bridge, but you get up to him. He is clutching his amulet, still spouting the same thing.
Okay. If it's hopeless, Cecil, it's not going to hurt to try to get rid of it, right? Just throw it off the end there.
but you don't know what's going to happen when you throw it. This thing, Asterius, it's essentially a starfish. They're in the ocean. What do you think is going to happen?
That's Asterius is telling you that so you won't do it. He's trying to trick you so that you won't do the thing that stops him. Can I use my helpful to give him like a roll, or do NPCs roll to fight stuff?
You know what?
Makes sense.
Give me a presence roll.
Okay.
To try to convince him.
Okay.
I'm staying on the other side of the bridge, by the way, to spray anybody that comes.
Okay, I'll use
It
clever
gets to
for
us.
the reroll.
Okay.
Okay, 1 success, although that might not be enough.
Yeah, that's usually 1 success is enough.
Okay.
You kind of see it as you say this. You can kind of see it click in his head that maybe this is the way to do it. The things you're saying that Asterius is in his mind, it kind of echoes what has been in his mind to begin with, and he is still holding on to the amulet and starts to take it off of his head and starts walking towards the edge of the cliff. As this is happening, anybody else want to do anything else?
I'll take a shot if I'm able to.
You are. They're close enough that you're able to. So looking down, you can see, like I mentioned, the 4. We'll just call them comets, as well as the Lottie Dvorkin comet and then the Cecil Blackburn comet. You can shoot at any of those if you would like.
Okay. I'm going to perform I'm going to use an insight to succeed a third time, giving me 3 successes. Using my skilled shot, which means that the enemy cannot take a reaction to avoid the attack.
Wow.
So that's 3 successes against them.
Ooh.
All right. And which one were you shooting at? Were you shooting at one in particular?
Probably whoever's like leading the charge. If it's
it would definitely
Blackburn
be
comet.
it would definitely be the Cecil one. And so I'm just looking at something here. How many successes did you get? You said
3.
3. I will tell you that if you generate 1 more success, you will inflict an injury on them. So if you would like to add more dice to roll, I will let you. Since we are still kind of learning the system. You don't have to. I'm just giving you that
Could I burn
option.
another insight to have that other success? So I would basically burn my 2 insight.
Sure. I don't know what the rule says if you can only do 1, but I will let you do that. So yeah, if you want to burn another insight, you absolutely can.
Okay, so that's 4 successes then.
All right, so you aim at Blackburn as he is charging up. He kind of gets to the bottom, and you can, whoever's looking down there, you can see this, that the 3 Neph have engaged in combat with basically the 3 generic comets. Lottie, Blackburn, and another one kind of maneuvered around them and are charging up the cliff towards you. You hit... sorry, I'm jumping back to the page. You hit Blackburn's comet as he's coming up. He takes 2 damage from it, but you also get an injury. You know what? I will let you roll the injury for him. Roll a d6 and then add 1 to that and tell me what
3.
you get. That's 3 total?
Yep.
All right. So remember that all the dice pools are kind of in front of you. Blackburn is down to 4 dice, and he gets a nasty cut. He's bleeding badly. He cannot restore his dice pool limit through time healing or straining himself until this injury is healed by performing a complex action using knowledge or by waiting for 4 hours to heal on its own. So I will also tell you that Blackburn and Lottie, because they're not generic, basically monsters, they can strain themselves to refresh their die back to their maximum. You just took that away from Blackburn's comet.
Take that, you dirty mollusk.
Right. Would anybody like to do anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the shivering spell on Lottie.
Okay.
Lottie comment.
And remind me that that's a range thing, right?
That's range. They need to be. She needs to be within 50 feet. So
Yeah, you're within that.
okay. So it's a lore roll using 3 of my die. Okay, and that's no success, and 2 ones, which turn into
Oh.
a die.
Ooh.
All right. So maybe it's the fact that you're in another world where the physics maybe work differently, or there's a lot going on. But the spell kind of like you see this like beam shoot out, and it hits one of the conical structures, and the conical structure almost like melts in on itself as that happens. Last call. Anybody else?
I'll take a shot at Lottie.
Go for it.
And I'm waiting for them to get closer.
Spending 4 dice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nice.
I've got 1 success and 2 ones, which means I take after both of those circles are filled out, I have to reload.
Yes. All right, but the 1 success was enough to still hit. That does 2 damage, correct?
Yes.
2. Yes. All right. So you hit Lottie right in the arm. She screams out, and she's down to 2 dice. Right. Just want to make sure nobody else wants to do anything. Okay. Cool. So this moves to the Neff and the Comets are fighting the 3 that were coming up. They each spend. Let me see here. So Lottie has 2 dice. Blackburn has 4, and the other has 6. They each spend 2 dice to get up to where you all are at. So you are essentially in engaged range right now. Lottie cannot do anything else. Blackburn, though, is going to. He does have a pistol. He's going to shoot at Harvey. Give me 1 second. Sorry, that they don't put all the stats on the same page, so I'm kind of flipping between the two. All right, so that's his range combat is 6. Okay, I think you're probably okay. Actually, I'm giving him a disadvantage as well, which means I roll an extra die, but I remove the highest. Just because I think, Amanda, you said you were standing in between Harvey. Harvey, you're also behind one of the conical things. And no, he does not even come close. So he's out. The last one is going to come up. It looks like a man that you've never seen before. I think he goes, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Daisy, he goes after you. He is going to try to punch you.
I'm going to try to move out of the way.
Okay.
I can only react, correct?
Correct, but he did miss, so you do not have to spend any reaction. So he goes. You're just through your nimbleness. He kind of dodges, or you dodge out of the way. He does have 1 die left over that he's saving, and that brings us back to all of you. So, what would you all like to do?
So die
Have they gotten close enough that I can start spraying them?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just going to start dousing them.
Well, you can wait. So remember that, so first off, all of your dice pools refresh. You're going to need to do a ranged combat roll to see if you hit them.
Right.
You are allowed to attack each one because that is technically separate or different actions. You couldn't attack the same one more than once.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, you said the wind was blowing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If I could get upwind from them, I could just make clouds of...
Sure. I would say it would cost you 1 die to kind of maneuver to the right place to do that.
Okay.
And what's your goal? To kind of like essentially like create a cloud of this?
Yeah, that's floating right at them and
Okay.
covering them.
Yeah, go ahead. That's going to be a ranged combat roll for that.
Okay. I am going to roll 3 dice.
All right.
And I'm putting both my horror dice in there.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
no.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 3.
All right. That
So-
is enough. You start
That's
to
2 wins.
All right, so and that's definitely enough. So you start spraying the vinegar mist. It kind of creates I don't know. I know this is not a good comparison, but like Stinking Cloud from D&D is kind of what comes into my mind.
Yeah.
That the wind miraculously like calms down for a second, and you just have this cloud of vinegar that's kind of surrounding them and some of you. So some of you, it is a little bit harder to breathe because you're just getting overwhelmed by the acidic vinegary smell. But for each of them, trying to remember here. Let's see here. They suffer 1d3. So, Thom, go ahead and roll for. I would say I will let you either roll 3 times or once and apply it to all of them. It's really up to you.
Well, if I roll a 6, then I'll apply it to wait. You said 1d3.
Yes, correct.
I got a 3. So
that would be two damage.
I got 2 other 3s as well.
All right, so that
ends
up working. So the mist goes across. First it hits Blackburn, and he yells out in pain. You can see where on his skin it starts to blister, almost like it's almost like you threw acid on him. Mm-hmm. It hits Lottie, and Lottie just falls to the ground. It lets out this high-pitched scream that echoes in all of your heads, and she just falls to the ground, convulsing, and you can see her start to melt. The generic one that was there, it gets hit as well, although it doesn't. It's definitely hurting. It lets out this kind of guttural grunt and starts to try to push through things, but it seems to still be going. Lottie is out. Blackburn is down to 1 die, and the generic one is down to 4 die. Silas, what would you like to do?
I'm just over by the original Cecil, so I was just kind of backing up Samuel. So I'm kind of out of it a little bit.
So one thing I'm going to try to watch for, if he does try to throw it, I'm going to make sure he doesn't fall off the cliff. Like I'm going to get ready to grab, the back of his pants or something in case something weird happens. I am going to try to bring him through this alive if possible, because his wife probably would like to see him again, maybe.
Because you said that.
Yep.
I won't make you spend any die for this, but he looks back at you and says, "I'm sorry for all of this," and starts to run to jump over the cliff with it. If you would like, you can.
I'm catching him. I got to catch him.
Give me an athletics or agility roll, and Silas, if you want to help, you can spend a die to give him advantage as well. In fact, I will let either of you decide who's doing what.
I got like a 4 on agility. Should I go for it? Or are you more agile than me?
Yeah, who's rolling? So...
It's agility or athletics, whichever you want.
Okay, hold on. Agility. Oh, they're both the same, so I got over it by a long shot. I got a 6.
Okay,
I think we're both tackling him, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So you both tackle Cecil as he goes to run. It's almost, if you can imagine, he was like about to jump off the cliff, and from the side, you both tackle him to the ground. He kind of screams out, "No!" As you do this. Mandy or Daisy or Harvey, what would you like to do?
Harvey is going to start backing up. He'll get to about the middle of the bridge just to hold the last stand in case things don't work out. Okay.
All right. Mandy, what about you? You can spend 1 die, and that's a reload.
Well, I still have 1.
Well, your dice pool would have refreshed.
Okay.
So we're at the top of a new turn.
Okay, so I'll spend 4 and shoot at No Name.
Okay. Go for
No name brand villain.
it.
That is 4 successes.
Oh, that is definitely an injury, and that kills him because he's generic. If he take basically generic monsters in this, if they take injuries, they're gone. Think of them as kind of like henchmen type opponents. But you hit him in just the right spot, and this like black ooze starts to fall, just ooze out of him as he takes a step forward and then falls to the ground. Daisy, what about you?
Um, that wasn't the one that attacked me, was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so
The only one left is Blackburn.
well, I'll go with what worked a couple of times.
Okay,
So
Try
I mean,
again.
it seems fitting.
this time I have to need to use one of the horror dice. So shoot,
Oh
the
no.
horror die is a 2, but it's
Oh.
1, 2, and 3 overall. So
Ugh.
it's another horror die for me and no effect.
As long as the horror die is not a 1, you're
A 1,
So you all still have, some of you still have dice in your dice pool,
Yeah,
so you
so
can
that's,
still do things.
Are we close enough he could throw the amulet, even though we've tackled him?
Blackburn?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, you're basically on like the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
In fact, consider him like an NPC that you all control right now. So you can have him do that if you would like.
Yeah, Cecil, just throw the amulet, Cecil. Throw it.
Okay. He just takes it off, throws it. You can see it kind of going over the cliff, plummeting down into the boiling waters. And once it hits the water, there is this flash of greenish light where it hits the water. There's this explosion that all of you hear. The cliff you're on rocks back and forth. It's that powerful. But as that happens, Blackburn's Comet, who is at this point trying to get Harvey, you can see him coming at you. This explosion happens, and the Comet stops, takes a step forward, and then before your eyes melts into a puddle on the ground. You can all see the Neff, the ones that were fighting the Neff. They have done so as well. Blackburn stands up, he still looks very forlorn. You can imagine that there's probably a lot weighing on his mind.
Yep.
But he looks over at Samuel and Silas and says, "It's done."
Your
Let's
wife
go
will want to
home.
see you again, Silas. Let's go home. Yeah. Cecil, not Silas. Well, your wife probably wants to see you too, Silas, but that's another matter. No.
So you start heading back. We'll kind of wrap this up narratively.
Sure.
You start heading back. As you're going back, the Neff who had led you here leads you back just to make sure that you can get back. Is there anything that you all would like to ask it before or when you get back, or as you're on your traveling? Sorry.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to tell it that I'm a student, and if it's possible to travel back and forth, I'd like to come back and visit and learn stuff from them. I study lore.
It says, "I do not know if that portal will remain open now that the amulet has been destroyed, but you all are welcome here if you can travel. You will have safe passage."
I'm not leaving my library anytime soon.
I would like to add to your the song of the lobster people.
We hope this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship between our two races, Clickety Clack.
Clack.
You make your way back to the pool. go through the portal, and you find yourselves back washed, or not in the caverns that you went into, but washed up on the shores of Kingsport. The cold weather has hit you. It's freezing out.
Ooh.
You know, you're wet. We'll say that as later on, maybe some of you go back to that cave. The coral is gone. The eggs and the eels have also disappeared. In fact, they seem to have like dissolved into some type of like goopy, sticky sea foam.
Man,
What
that's
are you?
the best.
What are you going to do with Blackburn?
Well, I'm going to call his wife because she did give us contact information
Yes.
and let her know that Cecil is no longer troubled, but he's going to need help. So
Well,
not to worry, because I warned her that he might be a problem, but now I don't think that's the case. If she wants to meet us at a coffee shop or something, and
Likely that the Kingsport Asylum thinks that he somehow escaped.
yeah, but we don't want him to get dragged
Neither
in
do we.
there. That's not going to help. The asylums are bad
Well-
for people. They make you crazy. You don't want to go.
I mean, what can we do? If he
We
hurt people to get out, then he's going to get blamed for it.
yeah. Well,
Maybe
Steph-
we'll try to get him somewhere else, like a good place like Arkham Asylum, where everybody's friendly.
No, even worse. Oh,
Roxy, his wife, is willing to take him off your hands.
Okay.
She tells you in a stern voice that you absolutely believe that she says that she is capable of handling this. And if you would like, she will work with the headmaster and some others to try and untangle this mess.
okay. Because I don't want to do that. I'm not paid
I'm going
to
to
do
start
that kind of
working on
stuff.
my thesis.
I have
It's
to
going
be
all
honest.
about the lore of Kingsport.
I have a strong hankering for seafood. Maybe a lobster dinner.
Oh my gosh, no. Never again. Oh,
Could you imagine how much those lobster claws would have been? Being
And-
half of Kingsport.
I imagine that you all are sitting in some like Kingsport cafe having this conversation, and that's, as the credits begin to roll, and that's where the scenario ends.
Well,
What questions do you have on it?
first off, let's say that it was a really good story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you all pretty much found everything. The one place you did not. So there's two, I would say, scenes. Obviously, these are spoilers if anybody's listening, and but if you're listening, you're probably not going to be playing this anyways. There are two places that you didn't go. First was Lottie Dvorkin's house. You could have gone to that. If you would have gone, you basically would have found her body, and there would have been a bathtub filled with black icky water that they, as well as like a finger or two in there that they had used to create her comets before she was killed. The other one is Silas. You have a friend in town called Iano. You could have gone and seen him. Really, the only thing that tells you is, first off, he has one of those eels that is dead that you get to examine before actually encountering them. So it's kind of like a prelude to, a hint as to what's to come. But he also talks about that mariner that you all had fought, about how basically, kind of helps out at a home for mariners, and that sailor, his name is Ralph, has been leaving and going into the caverns. But he's basically, considered one of the. Actually, it doesn't say if he's a comet or if that's just kind of. Oh, I think what happens. Sorry, I think what happens is he keeps leaving because he has dementia, and then one day he goes into the caverns and is never seen again. So that's another way that would lead you to the caverns.
So
Did the comets have a plan or a pattern of some kind? That we could have figured out?
Their plan is to basically wait for Blackburn to come back. So what essentially what is happening, and I think you all kind of figure this out, but the amulet, if somebody is wearing it and they can create a comet of themselves. Or if they have if you have like a body part of theirs, there's a way to create it. And the goals of the comets are to bring back Asterius. The way that they bring back Asterius, this great old one, is to perform a ritual with the amulet, which has a piece of Asterius in it, to find the other pieces of Asterius. And once they are all brought together, that will summon it back.
Right. Okay.
So what had happened was some of the comets took the amulet initially and were making basically copies of themselves. So, if you make a copy of a copy, it's not as good, which is why you saw the two of Ralph the Mariner, and one looked worse off than the other.
Right.
That's why. But Blackburn, who was the original Blackburn, who was kind of under this spell, kind of realized what had been going on, and then basically went through that portal because he knew that they could not follow. Now, this is not in the scenario, but I changed it up so that because he brought that amulet into the Neff's world, that basically was slowly eroding the protection to prevent the comets from going through, and that's why they were able to get through at the end.
So if I'm to understand the overall story, the Neff used to live in the Kingsport area, maybe prehistoric times. And then when Asterius came, they created and went through the portal to get to a safe place. And Asterius was shattered into pieces.
Yes and no. So this is where I think this scenario is weak, in that, now understand, this is a free RPG day scenario. It's half of this is how to play the game. So I don't expect them to go super deep into lore and all of that. But you kind of have to read the core rule book to get all of this information because it's not in here. Basically what happened with Asterius was Asterius was actually vanquished by the Deep Ones millennia ago. There's nothing in here to give that. In fact, when I first read through this, I thought it was a typo until it is explained more in the core rulebook. The Neff, they did not defeat Asterius, but instead they escaped from Asterius through the portal, but it ended up killing most of their civilization in order to do so. Right. The amulet was what was opening the portal in order to allow the Blackburn to go through. Cool. And I'm probably getting some of that story wrong because again, it's kind of broken up all over the place. But that's the gist of it.
It was a nice breath of fresh air for it to be the Neff and the Comets and stuff instead of the Deep Ones. I was expecting the Deep Ones to show up at any minute. So.
And one always wants to make friends with giant lobster people. I thought for a minute they were the Migo, but
as far as I can tell, the Neff are completely within, and Asterius are completely within the Arkham Horror world. I haven't played
the card game or the board game. You mean, or
I think they might be in one of the two. I've only played the board game. I haven't played the board game in a while, and I don't remember them being in there. And I've never played the card game, so they may be in there somewhere. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of a unique aspect of this, which I'll be honest with you. As the GM, I know most of you, if not all of you, have played Call of Cthulhu for a while. You know a lot of the lore, so this is kind of a fresh take on it to give you something a little bit new.
Cool. Our players included Sergio Craco, Josh Ryan, Pascal Breitenfeld, Shane Hartman, Troy Lehman, and myself with Tyler Hudak as the Game Master. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Arkham Horror role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.